Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 14th of March 2024. Quick request please, and that's if I could ask you to subscribe to the channel. That'd be great, big help, so please do click that button if you would. Today it's the great Mythra and Death and Destiny. Right, because of course Death and Destiny was Mythra's original EP, issued back in, all the way back in 1979. You know, and NWOBHM was at its height, and Mythra were trying to make their mark, and indeed they did with Death and Destiny, and it remains. Here we are, some 45 years later, flipping heck, and it still remains to this day a proper new wave of British heavy metal classic for me. You know, marvelous stuff. Got some attention for him. I bought a copy back then. Long since disappeared somewhere over the years since. Probably misplaced it somewhere during a house move or something, but I do regret losing it, because it remains one of my favourites, you know, 40 odd years later. But whilst things didn't work out for Mythra back then, they did reform a few years ago, remained active, and in the last few years released some couple of excellent albums in Still Burning back in 2017 and Temples of Madness last year. So they are doing their bit to keep good old new wave of British heavy metal tradition to the fore there. But regardless, it probably is Death and Destiny, that EP, that they'll always remain mainly associated with. A few days ago, email arrived from Sonic Age Records with various new releases and upcoming releases that they were stocking, and one of them was called Mythra's Death and Destiny 40th Anniversary Edition, with some additional tracks over and above the 4 that were on the EP. And it looked like it was a pre-order, with a release date via High Roller Records due at the end of May, you know, in another, well, at the time of recording this, 14th of March 2024, I think that the pre-order stuff indicated it was due on the 31st of May. I jumped on Amazon and found it there with immediate availability, so I ordered that without any hesitation. Duly arrived, CD, nice jewel case, nice booklet, slipcase cover, and a mini poster in there as well. But I noticed it showed a date on there of 2019. So I'm guessing that this is a reissue of that from 2019, which was called the 40th Anniversary Edition, because of course 2019 was 40 years after it was the EP was originally issued. So despite having it in my hand, I went on High Roller, and it shows on there 31st of May 2024 upcoming. So I'm guessing that what I've got's one of the 2019 ones. But anyway, regardless of that, it's available. It's available, or shortly will be. And you know, it's great to have it, because as well as the 4 tracks from the EP, you've got 11 other tracks that, 9 other tracks that Mythra recorded back then that weren't issued back then, that they recorded between 1979 and 1981. And it's all typical Mythra, all proper classic NWOBHM. You know, you've got no mucking about here. Short, punchy, cutting riffs, they all thump away hard and fast. Big pulsing, churning riffs, breathless solos, thudding bass and drums, fist-bumping choruses. You know, you can't go wrong here. They don't muck about. They hit hard and they hit heavy. And, you know, that is shown throughout the 4 classics on the EP and the others that we've got here. I've always had a soft spot for Mythra over the years. Always will do. And if you're not familiar with them, but you might remember Budgie, you know, the great Budgie, great Welsh band. They remind me of Budgie a little bit sometimes, but either way, it's crunching stuff. So good. This is called a 40th anniversary package, and for me it's a fine testament to one of the great original new wave of British heavy metal bands who fall into that should have been bigger category. Can't go wrong with it. Do check this out, because it's more than worthy. And check out Still Burning and Temples of Madness as well, because they're both excellent albums. I will put a link, in case you want to do that, I'll put a link to High Roller Records underneath in the description. But you know, if you remember Mythra as fondly as I do, you'll want this. If you don't, but you just like good old proper fashion heavy metal, but you know that new wave of British heavy metal feel to it, you can't go wrong with Mythra at all. So there we are. That's Mythra Death and Destiny. Please subscribe to the channel before you go. If you would, that'd be great. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.